My co-host, Cindy Lemke at the Chamber. We're so grateful that you've taken some time to check in with us today. The purpose of these calls is to talk about city issues that are opportunities for our business community and create a forum where the business community can ask questions of the city and have a dialogue. So today we're going to just run through a few new issues for the city. And we have a special guest, our new police chief, and we'll jump into some questions for him after we do a brief summary of some hot issues for the city. So let's see if I can get this going for the next slide here. Okay. So what's new in the city? We have one thing I want to make sure is it's more than a rumor, it's a fact that's happening in Hemet. We have invested in a number of cameras within town. These cameras help us solve crimes, and we had in July we had about 40 cameras set up around town. But today, after some significant investments by the city council, we're going to have more than 100 cameras here shortly deployed, and different types of cameras deployed around town. And it's important that we spread that word because it creates a safer environment. And some of these new cameras are going to help deter retail theft. And that's a very important element and investment that the city is making. And we've received some significant funding from the state that's allowed us to do that. And we'll ask the chief to talk more about how those investments are going to help our business community. Second program that I want to highlight is our storefront vandalism relief program. This is a program that the city council has invested $200,000 in. It provides essentially reimbursement for any vandalism repairs that occurred to the exterior of your retail space. So think about broken doors, broken windows, broken locks. This is a program that will provide reimbursement up to $7,500. If you've made an insurance claim, but you still have a deductible, this program will cover that deductible. And it's important to know that this dates back to January 1, 2023. So if you have any damage that occurred from January 1, 2023 forward, this program will provide reimbursement for you. There's a process, of course, an application procedure, and the city will be happy to talk to you more about how that program works. The third bullet point here, our trash enclosure relief program. The city council has taken steps to mandate in our commercial corridors, all commercial businesses will be required to have a trash enclosure with a locking top and locking doors by January 1, 2026. These trash enclosures are estimated to cost about $20,000 to build from scratch, and the city council has appropriated $500,000 to provide $1,000 for the construction of trash enclosures. So this is a first come, first serve basis program. We've had some applicants and we'll be moving forward with those applicants and beginning to helping them construct and reimburse them for the cost of constructing these trash enclosures. The purpose of this program is to deter illegal dumping, deter scavenging in these bins. Sometimes we've seen people that are unsheltered that are living in these areas. In some cases, the buildings are a little older and they don't have room for a recycling bin that's also out there. It's going to, sometimes experience graffiti on these. This program is going to lock all those up into hopefully an elegant looking structure and clean up our commercial corridors. So this program is live today, and we want our business community to know about this and to encourage applications because it will be important that these get built and constructed over the next 2 years. I want to highlight also the city's investment in paving. This current year budget includes an additional $3 million. That $2 million of that is earmarked for local streets. The additional $1 million is for our auto mall, which is one of the significant economic engines of the city. But this past week, the city council just was just awarded an additional $1.7 million. The county of Riverside, and specifically Supervisor Gutierrez, helped with providing some funding that will allow us to improve Kirby from Esplanade all the way to Florida. So that's a significant investment. It will be a combination of slurry seal, grind and repair, and complete rehab in some sections that requires the road to be elevated a bit due to some flood damage that occurs periodically when it rains. But that's a bit of a that's at the tip of the really the it's a preview of what's to come, because we have about a $5 million project that will be going to construction later this year. It's a combination of the city's original $3 million investment and this augmentation. And that $1.7 million project will be coming later this year in late 2024 is the current schedule. But the city council has been making more aggressive investments in paving. We have a long way to go, and we can't pave every street at the same time. We have about a 50, but we have about $28 million of projects in the pipeline since January 1 of last year to today. So the city council is making some significant investments there, and we're going to feel and see those improvements in the coming months. Want to also touch on another new program that became effective actually yesterday. The city council passed an ordinance that will provide a significant economic incentive for our existing hotels to seek renovation. So we want to encourage these hotels to invest in their assets, from the rooms to the roofs to the parking lots to the other amenities. And the city council's put on the table one of the most generous hotel investment programs in the state of California. It provides up to 25 years of cost sharing on the hotel tax as a rebate to the investor that puts money back into their hotel. So we want to transition these hotels from the assets they are today to a higher quality asset tomorrow to serve our lodging and guest community. So if anyone has questions about that, the city is happy to talk to investors and about the hotel investment program. I want to plug an important program that's starting to take off. We have about 12 different streets that have been adopted in the city. What this Adopt a Street program requires is a 3-year commitment to clean streets, your corridor, up to twice a year. We definitely have volunteers basis, or probably even more frequent than that. But this is a really important program for us because we'd like to partner with families. If you know someone that would be open to adopting the street, what we're going to do is work on connecting you to the city. It includes, we'll put signs up that denote where that Adopt a Street is. We'll have a ribbon cutting ceremony, give you a little exposure, but this is a good opportunity for a business to help the city and gain a little exposure. So please contact us for more information on that. And finally, I want to plug Hemet Beautiful. This is really a community day of service. We have today an important call to action. So this is an opportunity for us to come together as a community to clean up the streets, pick up trash, paint fences, other jobs. And on the city's website, hemetca.gov/Hemet Beautiful, it's an opportunity to put your name in the volunteer list, and we will be assigning projects to people. But you can also suggest a project. So as I drive around town, if I spot something, I can go to that website, take a picture, upload the picture, and describe what that project might be. So I was driving down the street the other day that had a lot of grass in the gutter, took a photograph, put that into the project list, and it will be a project that we have on April 27th, Saturday. So we're going to meet at 7 a.m. at West Valley High School. We're hoping that who our volunteers are in advance, so it's helpful and helpful for us from a planning perspective to know how many, and you can do that on that website. So finally, this is my contact information for any of the programs that I've mentioned. Follow up with you on questions that you have. Um, but today, I know we did a little advertising and told you that we were going to provide an opportunity to ask a few questions of our police chief. Um, our new police chief is Mike Ariano. He's new to that role, but he's not new to the city of Hemet. And I want to begin by asking Chief Ariano to provide a little introduction for us on his background. And then we'll get into a couple of questions, and then we'll open it up for any questions that you have. Chief Ariano.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Pleasure to be here. So yeah, I'm not new to Hemet. Our family moved out to Hemet probably in 1988. I graduated from Hemet High. That was 94. Immediately after Hemet, after graduating high school, I joined the Marine Corps. Did that for about 9.5 years, and deployments became too much to be away from the family. So I joined law enforcement. I was in San Diego at the time, so I joined San Diego Police Department for about 3.5 years, 4 years. I was there, but I was looking to come back to my community, Hemet. So in 2005, actually, we moved back. I was going back and forth from San Diego to Hemet, and then at some point in 2006, I talked to then Captain Rob Webb, who was the chief here a few years back, and I had the opportunity to lateral back here. They accepted me here with Hemet PD, so I've been here ever since 2006.
All right, Chief. I mentioned earlier a reference to these technological investments. We've made a lot of those in the last 6 months in particular. Can you talk to us about what some of these investments are and how they're making a difference in our community to catch criminals and to deter criminal behavior?
Absolutely. I have a bunch of notes. I don't want to miss anything. This is very important. So Hemet PD as a whole, we've been in the forefront in Riverside County with technology such as body worn cameras and whatnot. We were the first to do a lot of everything: body worn cameras, the flock cameras. I'm going to touch mostly on our technology updates and upgrades that will affect the businesses in town. So we'll start with, let's see here. We'll start with the flock cameras. About 3 years ago, we were approached by some company, Flock, and they offered to test trial some, they're called ALPRs, automated license plate reader cameras. So they do have a camera on there, but it essentially reads license plates. But these cameras weren't just license plates. It was you can type in type of vehicle, truck, passenger, color, and it will pull up wherever these cameras are located. It will pull up all those types of vehicles. So I mean, talk about a investigative tool and solving crime here in the city of Hemet. So it's been nothing but done great things for us. We started out with 20 cameras in the city, and we doubled that to 40. And like the city manager said, the council just approved a ton more technology, and that was 20 more flock cameras amongst all the other things. So we're up to 64 of those flock automated license plate reader cameras. And we'll use those cameras specifically as an investigative tool, like I said. We get thefts, robberies, whatnot. We have any kind of description on a vehicle. I mean, we're talking about even a damage to the vehicle or a specific sticker on the vehicle. We can start typing that information in, and it will pop up any vehicles that match that criteria. So we have been able to solve a ton of crimes because of this. Stolen vehicle recoveries were over $4 million in value in recovery of stolen vehicles. If somebody puts from another city, I'll give you an example. There was a homicide that occurred in LA County. They entered that vehicle into the Department of Justice system. Well, our cameras, it picked up that license plate and immediately sends an alert to the officers out in the field. So they were able to stop that vehicle and get that homicide suspect was in there and get him in custody in our city. So that is the flock cameras. I'm going to go through these real quick, and then if there's any questions specific, feel free to ask. Let's see here. Next thing is going to be the Condor cameras. This is also from the Flock company, but it's you'll notice they name all their technology after birds. So we got Flock, we have Condors. So the next one, the Condors, this is something that the city council just approved. We're going to get 20 of these cameras. These cameras are 360 degrees. They can pan in, they can tilt, they can zoom. And these are going to be put strategically in intersections in our city and shopping centers. So if we get, say, a call at Target, we'll get a call of a crime occurring there. We can log in into this, we can pull up this camera and immediately zoom in, find the person coming out, find the vehicle. We can follow it with these cameras. And whatever direction they go, it's going to be live updates to the officers. So this will be working in conjunction with our RTIC, which is acronym RTIC, Real-Time Information Center, which is being built now. We're hoping to have that open in April next month. And so these will all these cameras I'm speaking of will be live fed into this Real-Time Information Center. And we will have someone there. We will have a crime analyst there on the spot, giving that information out, giving live updates to the officers. And even if the officers don't reach that vehicle, they're going to start working up, license plates, description of vehicle, persons coming out. Let's see here, Arctic, Condor cameras. And I can't forget about our drone program. That was started last year sometime. Drone first responder. We were also the first in Riverside County. This is something that Chula Vista PD down in San Diego County, we're at the forefront of. So essentially, we have the helicopter that the sheriff's department has, and we work with them. We use their helicopter, but now that we have this drone first responder program, we actually launch our drone off of Hemet Valley Hospital. And we have an actual pilot seat at the station with the screens up on the wall. So if you can imagine, that is the pilot. They actually have to have an FAA license to fly this thing. And so someone on the hospital will launch the drone, and the pilot will pilot it to whatever call for service, follow vehicles. So we have essentially our own air unit, much cheaper than having an actual helicopter out there. So like the city manager said, we have over 100. I think we're at about 104 cameras. They're not all installed yet, but they're on order, and we're getting permits for some of these to be placed. So, if there are any questions?
On the cameras, can you tell us also what an LTV camera is? I know that
Oh, yeah.
the council also invested in LTVs.
Absolutely. So LTVs, Condors, these are all being purchased. The city council approved these as well. We have 4 of those, are the Live View television. These are the ones you see at currently at Lowe's. I think the Walmart Market has it. It's the mobile trailer that has the blue light flashing on top. It's got 4 cameras, also 360. They can zoom in. We received 4 of those, and we actually launched the first one. It's over in the Page Plaza in front of the Dollar Tree, I believe, and Famous Footwear. And we've already had some successes with that. And we've got 3 other locations that we're working with. We have to get with the property management and the business there and ensure that they're okay with it to place it on their property. So that is another tool that will be essential. That also will be live fed into the Real-Time Information Center as well.
So we'd love you to help. We'd love everyone in the business community to help share this story. We want that word to get out that we have cameras everywhere, and this is these investments are force multipliers for the organization, and we have a crime rate in Hemet that's beginning to drop. It really peaked in 15-16. It's been on a slow decline while the population's been going up. And the story that is Hemet is that now we're below the California state average for property crime and violent crime, and we're about to dip below the national average. With these investments, I'm hopeful, and I'm pretty confident that we're going to see that happen within the next year or 2. So, Chief, moving on to a different topic, we hear a lot about 602 letters, and members of the business community want to understand, what is a 602 letter? What does it provide? Are there any noticing or signage requirements? Can you talk a little bit about the value of a 602 letter and how frequent that has to be kept on file with the city?
Absolutely. So it's called a 602 letter because it's 602. Those are the numbers of the penal code for California. And so we call it the 602 letter. It's essentially a trespass arrest authorization letter. It authorizes our department to enforce provisions such as trespassing. That's a big one, trespassing, but any other misdemeanor crimes as well, vandalism, you name it. Essentially, these letters you'll sign, it's a form, you can find it on our webpage, but you'll yourself as the owner or a designee will sign this form. And it's essentially authorizing us to make an arrest on your behalf after hours. That's the key there. It's not needed during business hours. Sometimes people mistake that. If it's during business hours, you give us a call and you want to place someone on arrest for whatever crime it is, then we'll do that. These letters are essentially for after hours or, days you're closed. My officer can arrive on scene. They can find someone that's an encampment being set up out front, someone sleeping, someone vandalizing your business. If it's a misdemeanor, if it's a felony, we can arrest them. We don't need your authorization, but a misdemeanor, this helps out. And essentially you're saying that you'd like to place someone under arrest and that you're going to help us with the prosecution down the road. With this letter, it's good for a period of 12 months, so a year. You'll have to re-up it after a year. It does require signage. So essentially, you can go to our webpage. It's hemetpolice.com. On the front page, let's see here, you'll go to the resources and crime data. It's really simple to find. It's on the front page, resources and crime data, which you'll want to select. Once selected, there'll be a drop down where you'll select the business resources tab. And on that page, you'll find an area where you can download this form. That's one way of doing it. You can come to the station front lobby and pick up a form anytime, or you can call dispatch and ask to talk to one of the ROX officers, and they'll get you in touch with them, and they'll explain everything I'm telling you today. They can explain it back to you over the phone. So once you fill this out, you can mail it back to us. You can scan it and email it to us, or you can bring it directly to the front lobby and drop it off. And what we do with it after that is one of the ROX officers or a volunteer will go out to your business. You have to have signage posted. So it has to have signage saying no trespassing, and it's got to be visible. So you're giving them the opportunity. So the person doesn't have an out who's trespassing on your property. They don't have an out saying, well, there was no signage on my on the business, so I didn't know I couldn't stay there. So that is a requirement. And once that's been verified, we will enter that into our computer system. And so if we get a call for service at night at your business, it'll show on file that the officer will ask, if there's someone sleeping out in front of your business, they'll ask if there is a 602 letter on file, and it will be because we've entered into the system, and then that will place them on arrest for trespassing, whatever misdemeanor crime that they're involved with at that time.
Thank you, Chief. Another topic, this is a free resource for our business community, and we really invite you and want you to participate in this resource. We use a lot of acronyms in government, so we'll talk about one of these acronyms today, which is CTED, CPTED. But our business community may not be aware what that program is and how valuable it can be to our business community.
Absolutely. I think you were freezing up a little bit, Martin. Maybe it was on my end.
Can you hear the question okay?
I can hear you now. Yes, CPTED. So CPTED is an acronym. It stands for Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design, if you can remember that. Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design. I'm going to speak on it a little, but it also, if you go on our webpage, it will also, describe a little more. Again, our ROX officers are available this is something you have to be certified in. You have to take a course, 2 courses actually, to get certification. And so anyways, Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design. We offer these evaluations for free. All of my ROX officers are certified. So if you were to give us a call and you have a business or even your house, and you're having issues or just want to have them come out and evaluate, they're going to put together an official assessment, CPTED assessment, and let you know how you can build up your security through a lot of times it's natural ways and lighting and whatnot. So the 4 main principles of crime prevention through environmental design are natural surveillance. Criminals or those wanting to commit crime generally don't want to be seen. So the primary goal of natural surveillance is to keep those criminals or intruders under observation, or the perception that they're under observation. That goes a long way. So just a real quick one on that is windows, or even if you have a business, a restaurant or something, it's the way you place your seating. If you have your seating and your backs are turned to the outside, your criminal is going to feel a little more comfortable. But if you turn the seating and face outward, no, the criminals don't want to be seen. So it's something as simple as that we don't think of, but they're certifying this. They'll explain all this for you. The next one is natural access control. These are your doors, fences, shrubs, and other physical elements to keep unauthorized persons out of a particular place. So on this, we're talking about rose bushes under your windows or cactus under your window. Or, I mean, if you have a business and you have a specific area where you have unhoused setting up, they're sleeping at night or committing vandalism on a specific wall, that's something to think of. What can we place there to make it uncomfortable? You know, rose bushes, cactus, rocks. It's a little uncomfortable to sleep on rocks. You know, take away the soft dirt, whatever that may be. The next one's going to be territorial reinforcement. People naturally protect a territory that they feel is their own. Good maintenance and landscaping are ways to express ownership and pride. That goes without saying. Good maintenance and landscape, it shows that someone's there, they care about their property, so a criminal is less likely to break in or target that house or business than they will another business or house that they don't care about their property. And we're talking about territorial reinforcement and natural access. I'll go back to that is I think it's a 6 foot, 3 foot rule. So 6 foot, all trees should be 6 foot high. So don't have any low lying branches. Bushes should be no higher than 3 feet. And that's, you know, it also makes your customers feel comfortable. They know someone can't hide behind, you know, those trees or behind those bushes and ambush them. So the last part of that subhead is maintenance and management. The more dilapidated an area, the more likely it is to attract unwanted activities. The maintenance and the image of an area can have a major impact on whether it will become targeted. Like I said earlier, keep trees and shrubs trimmed back from windows, doors, and walkways. Keep shrubs trimmed to 3 feet. Let's see here, back to my notes. To 3 feet, and prune lower branches of trees up to 6 feet to maintain clear visibility. Use exterior lighting at night and keep it in working order. Lighting is very important. And with the subhead certification, it gets really nerdy. They actually have specific lighting and tones and whatnot. Maintain signs, fencing, and report and remove graffiti promptly. So that's really important. If someone graffitis the outside of your business, it's really important. Give us a call, obviously. Well, we'll see where we can help out. But if you as the business owner can take care of that immediately, even just slap some paint on there real quick. It's just people that are vandalizing, that are doing the graffiti on the walls. They want notoriety. So the longer it's up there, you know, the more bragging rights they have. So if you take it down immediately, and and they may come back the next night, do it again immediately. At least, you know, they know that that's not where their tag or whatever is going to be up on the wall long enough. So interaction between neighbors is vital to the awareness of persons and activities in the area. Management may need to create opportunities for neighbors to get to know one another. I think that goes without being said. But again, if anybody here is interested in getting one of these evaluations completed on your business or home, give us a call, 951-765-2400, and ask to speak to the ROC supervisor. Currently, the ROC supervisor is Sergeant Sanderson, and he'll set that up, and it's for free, provided by the city.
All right, final question from me, Chief, before we open it up. Under what circumstances should our business community consider calling the police, either the 911 line or the non-emergency line?
Absolutely. So obviously it goes without saying that a 911 call should only be made in case of an emergency, such as crimes in progress. Someone's health is in jeopardy. Someone needs medical attention. That's what your 911 calls are for. Everything else can probably wait. And I don't mean wait, give us a call, but call the non-emergency number. Again, that non-emergency number is 951-765-2400. If it's somebody that a past crime that occurred, someone came in, sold some stuff, and they're gone, that's not a 911. Let's leave those lines open for the actual emergency. Give us a call on the non-emergency line, and we'll get someone out there as soon as possible.
Chief, we're going to now just open it up for any questions that anyone has. We also have other representatives of the city here to talk about fire, community development, economic development. And so we're happy to answer any other city type questions beyond our focus on the police department today. Go ahead, Ralph.
I just have a comment with the environmental. Many moons ago, I worked for 7-Eleven, and we did have folks that were sleeping outside the stores, et cetera, et cetera. So we started playing acid rock at night at a very high level, and we didn't have as many folks sleeping outside the stores anymore. So it definitely does make a difference in how you present the outside of your store or storefront. And if it is uncomfortable, I know from experience that those folks will try to find a place that's maybe a little quieter or maybe a little smoother, and will definitely help your business long term.
Yeah, Ralph, I've actually seen that be successful as well in San Diego, and I think it's starting to pick up out this way as well, with businesses playing the music outside at night. You know, something that's a little they're not comfortable with, and they just want to go
Yeah,
to sleep.
little AC/DC
So
at
they'll
2 in the
find
morning.
somewhere else to go. Yeah.
Okay, one last thing to mention that I think is a significant development from the city council that just happened again last Tuesday. The council set in motion an effort to construct gates that will be at the intersection of Sanderson and Stetson. If you've been familiar with this area, there are some underground culverts, and we've had some history of folks living in that area. What we did is we also looked at the number of police calls at Page Plaza on that intersection. We had 741, I believe, last year. A significant number of calls for service. Can you imagine 2 calls per day sending officers that direction? And then on the fire side, we had a number of calls since 2021, including several fires, which just tap our resources. And so what the city council had provided direction on is they are making a 120, it's actually $119,000 investment to put some gates up that will remove the human behavior below the street. It will no longer be there. And our expectation is that Page Plaza and the adjoining neighborhoods will be safer as a result of this investment. It will also reduce a lot of calls for service and free up our staff, our critical resources in police and fire to respond to emergencies even faster. So we're grateful for the council's leadership in this area. So any last questions before we adjourn? I know we're a couple minutes over, but we're going to post this video on the city's YouTube channel. The chamber will share this with their membership. This is a resource that people can come to once a month at 8 o'clock to hear it live. But if you're not available, we invite you to watch these videos that we'll do each month and keep you up to date and create it on city issues, but also create a forum where the business community can connect with the city. Cindy, I want to invite you if you have any comments before we break.
No, I just think it's really important that we keep this line of communication open and that we build this rapport, the businesses in the city. There's a lot of, I'm sure there's a lot more questions that are not being asked yet, but we're going to build that rapport and get you guys comfortable so that we can have these conversations and help address any issues that you might have or even ideas, right? So the thing is I appreciate you all being here today on both sides, your business and the city departments. I think that our rapport together and us working together is very important. So I appreciate this opportunity really from all of you. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll wrap it up. Thanks everyone for your time this morning, and I'll let you go help make Hemet prosper. Have a great day.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone.